think our community is amazing. Like, and what I love about it is that we're not really stepping on each other's toes. Like, all of the people that are building these apps, there's so much potential to create on top of HighLevel, and we're sort of like staying out of each other's way of like, okay, let's not build something that someone else is already building.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the HighLevel Spotlight Sessions. Today I am joined by Tom Bristol, who is the founder of the Marketers Toolkit, one of the developer partners of the HighLevel community. Super excited to have Tom on. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Thank you.
Tom, I know that you've built a ton of really cool stuff that we're going to check out in a couple of minutes, but I'd love to hear a little bit of the backstory. Do you have your own marketing agency?
Yeah, so actually about 18 years ago, I created a Bristol marketing group. And
wow, 18 years ago. So that's like serious veteran territory.
Thank you. Yeah, and you know, I'm more of a programmer by nature. Like I got out of high school and I read a whole book on JavaScript over the summer of, you know, I went to Europe for a summer and I just read about JavaScript, and that's how I got started in programming. And
that sounds like a lovely summer, to be honest.
It was pretty awesome, actually. Yeah. I was reading the book on the train, and I think it takes a particular type of person to be able to read a programming book without a computer in front of you.
I was going to say, yeah, you're just soaking it in.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I started out like with this goal of being a programmer and learning all about that. But then my dad was a dental consultant, business consultant dedicated to dentistry, especially referral marketing, actually. And he got me into creating websites and doing marketing for dentists. And we actually served as sort of like the outreach arm of his dental consulting area, where we did a whole bunch of cold calls. Like my wife, this is back in early 2000s, and she was calling people on like and getting hung up on all the time. And our form of direct outreach was actually to print out our portfolio of websites. So these guys didn't have they didn't have internet in their offices. So we actually we like made this little binder of like, this is what your website could look like. And we mailed it to them. So it was like the early version of lumpy mail, right?
That's
and
awesome.
We followed it up with a call and all that sort of stuff. So we grew that. And after a certain point, it was just all about referrals. And probably about early 2019, we had 200 plus clients, all dentists, optometrists. My mom is a business consultant dedicated to optometrists. So we did something similar for them.
Nice.
But they don't pay as much at all. So we really try and focus on the dentists. And so
good to know. Good tip for everybody out there considering going into the optometrist field
or
niche.
Well, yeah, ophthalmology pays really well because they do all the surgeries and they've got LASIK and all that.
I was going to say, I always thought LASIK would be great campaigns to run.
Yeah, but optometry, they only do glasses. They do glasses and they do general eye exams.
Important distinction there.
Yeah, exactly. And in the niche that we're in, they do a lot of stuff on vision development. So they help little kids with eye turns and things like that. And I have a whole separate fun stuff to talk about on that I've done stuff on.
Nice.
We have like our own eye. But anyway, getting onto that. So
tell me that I know that you've been in the HighLevel community for a long time, right? When did you find HighLevel?
So that's what I was getting into actually was, so in 2019, we were at like 200 clients or so, but they were all like $50 to $300 a month. And that was great, but we couldn't scale because I really needed a higher ticket service to be able to hire more people, to like have enough income to hire people, and be able to just make more money. So we looked into how are we going to effectively do Facebook marketing. And so I ended up piecing together and creating this whole process where we patched together ActiveCampaign with Zapier, with send message or sales message, and all sorts of things, and the classic thing. And I was so happy because I had gotten it down to like $75 per client, and a 1-day setup onboarding process. And it was like, this is the thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I found HighLevel. I was like, yes, this is so great. Exactly right. And so I went all in on HighLevel immediately. And I tried to keep it a secret because I didn't want anybody else to know about it.
Right.
And then one of my good friends who has a marketing agency, they've got like 50 employees, so they're pretty big. And I was talking to him, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll tell you about this, right? And because I felt like at a certain point, I felt like it was just going to get out there, right? So I started to spread the word. And then shortly after that...
well, hopefully you were using your affiliate link, I hope.
Yes, of course. That was the whole reason why I did it. But yeah, okay, so then long story short, we fully built out our own stuff for our agency, and then end of 2009.
So were you like one of the first people to get into the API?
You didn't have, oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I was, yeah.
I was going to say, because I feel like the API documentation at least hasn't been around for very long, so you probably had to like get it straight from Sean or something, I would assume.
I did, yeah. We definitely messaged Sean and found out, okay, so like, do you have an API? What is it? And he just sent me the zip file for Zapier. He's like, oh yeah, here it is. And I'm like, this is a zip, what is this? We had to dissect it and figure out what it all was. And sort of reverse engineered your chat widget so we could see what was happening. And
was that like the first cool thing that you built, was like the super chat widget that you have?
Yeah, exactly. So Josh Nelson actually reached out to us back in November 2019 and said, hey, could you like just do some CSS to improve their chat widget? And I said, oh, you should be able to do that. Just hire someone on Upwork. Just you should be able to get that done. I don't want to charge you anything for that. That'll be simple. Just whatever. And then like a week went by and he didn't do anything on it. And I was like, wait, this would be really cool if I had something like that for our stuff. And so I was like, let's see what we can do. And I was like, whoa, wait, to do this really correctly, that's pretty complicated. And so I hired someone full time just to do this, and it took him a month. And then we have this beautiful chat widget. And then based off of that, I had the chat widget, and I had a side project that I was working on for scraping Facebook ads.
Oh, this is really cool when you showed me the preview of this. So,
yeah.
So why don't we hop into it? Do you want to share your screen and let's start checking out the goods?
Yeah, sure thing. All right. So, yeah. So anyway, so since then we've built all sorts of things. It really is a toolkit of like, it's hard to go over everything that we have.
Well, let's do the Lightspeed tour.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to start with the ad table because I think people are going to join later, and then they'll see some of the, like, I want to focus on the customizer and the solution library, but I think people are going to get to that. Like, we'll have more people looking at it later on. So I'm going to start with some of our ad tables, which are still amazingly awesome. So we have all these different niches, and the problem with every ad spy tool that I've seen is they don't have the industry specific stuff. So they have keywords, so like you can search for dental implants, but when I was searching for dental implants, because I'm in dental, I only found probably the top 10 to 15 big corporate guys that were really doing dental implant ads. But I didn't see the guys that were doing Facebook marketing in our niche that we could really funnel hack from. And so I built a tool that lets us find the industry specific ads. There's going to be 3 or 4 more added here by tomorrow, fitness and a couple others. And so here's what they look like basically. So each industry has around 1,000 ads currently, and we have a full-time VA that is searching and adding these ads constantly. And so what you can do is you can search in the industry and see, okay, so what are people offering that are free? Are people in Cairo offering adjustments? Are they saying adjustment? Well, you know, just search by keyword.
Yeah, really cool. So you could do like decompression if you know your client wants to run a decompression based campaign.
And then also you can even show this to your client and say, okay, so like, what ads resonate with you?
Could you get me a picture like this?
Yeah, even perfect, like exactly like that. Or if you're looking for different offers that they'd be willing to do, right? So they can brainstorm and you can brainstorm with them on stuff. And a lot of times they think this is all your stuff that you've done. You can even look at, okay, so when you're analyzing it, okay, so what are the lead form ads that people are currently running?
Oh, cool.
And then based off of that, here's more information. You can see that they started their ad in April, and when we captured it, it was June 24th. So this ran for 2 months at least.
That's interesting data, yeah.
And then you can also click directly over to the ad library and see, okay, so what are they running now?
Very cool.
So that ad's no longer available, but that's the idea. Yeah, so ad tables.
Yeah, wow, that's really a treasure trove of ideas. I could see that being super useful, especially when you get a client that wants to do something that you haven't done before, right? When they're like, I want to run a decompression campaign and you haven't done exactly that yet. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and especially if you know the industry. I mean, these aren't all proven ads, right? These aren't, like we haven't vetted these ads, but it's basically giving you everything. So if you are a good marketer, you should be able to see, okay, is this going to work? Is this not going to work, right? And some people are using these as prospecting tools as well, finding bad ads and approaching those clients and saying, hey, what could we do?
Yeah, I like that idea too.
And you can also look at the landing pages and everything like that. A couple of our members were like, hey, I found my ads in here.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to take the good with the bad, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so then next thing is the chats. So this is an example of what the chat widget looks like. And the cool thing about the chat widget is that it plugs directly into HighLevel, and you can trigger campaigns based off of that chat. So in this one, I have it configured with 3 different options. You know, what do you charge for websites? How are you driving implants or leads? Things like that. But this is really not utilizing our chat widget to the best of its ability. You can link out to your scheduling component. But what's cool here, so check this out. So we have the ability to set your office hours. So if you want the office to have a different campaign, so basically when someone fills out the chat, I think it's good to have an immediate response, go back to them saying, getting a text message to the client saying, thanks so much for your message. Someone's going to get back to you in a sec here, right? So they get a text message on their phone immediately, and you also alert your client. But if this is like the middle of the night, you don't want to do that. You could send them a text message saying, hey, we'll get back to you in the morning, but you have to trigger a different campaign. You have to have some different triggers. So we can set the here and away hours and set a different trigger for those campaigns, basically, for each one, basically.
That's cool.
You can customize every aspect of it in terms of color, branding. Another cool thing is that this is going to be embedded inside of HighLevel in the next month or so. We're making it so that your users can actually configure their chat widget from within the dashboard.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
And it'll be automatically set up so that people don't have to worry about the location ID, and you can sell it more as a SaaS.
Mm-hmm.
When we get to that level, it's going to be a monthly. It's not going to be a lifetime though.
Gotcha.
Okay, so, and hopefully we're going to have this as a YouTube video so people can pause and go back and forth.
Yeah, we will.
People always say you talk so fast. So here, like, is an example. So for this thing, you can say back pain, right? So say this is for a chiropractor. You can say have
So the first one's what the button will say, and then initial message is the reply that goes right back to that when they click that button?
yeah. So basically, so like, this is the first one. So here you go. And you can, of course, custom this message too, but you can have all sorts of these little message prompts.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, great, we actually reserve 3 appointments each day for you. Contact us and we'll get you seen quickly. And then they can fill this out. And it goes into HighLevel. And then it'll have a campaign that is responding about the emergency appointment. So you can have custom messaging based off of the fact that it was the emergency appointment.
And this is cool, right? Because I think you're about to show us each one has a prefix, and then you have a trigger waiting for that exact prefix, right? And that's what fires you into the campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that, and then you would say sleep chat here and sleep chat away, and based off of that prefix, so now you've got your two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leave a review actually has a whole separate process where you can do stuff here.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and then inside of HighLevel, you would one thing that everybody doesn't get, or a lot of people don't get, is that this is the location ID, if anybody needs that. So in here, you would say something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then customer reply.
Right. Reply channel is Chat Widget, I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly. And then contains phrase, and then you would say probably sleep chat here, or something like that. I forget what I wrote, but it would then be looking for that, and then you could then start the campaign for that and have the automated messaging and do a specific notification correctly.
Right. Very cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Basically
So
like building a chatbot.
Yeah, it's like building a mini chatbot. It's almost there, right? Yeah. So that's the chat with prompts, and then we have the original chat widget is easier to configure, and actually a lot of our people are just using this because it's you don't have to build this whole chatbot. It's just, the message us and we'll get back to you thing.
And this just makes it really easy to change, like, style the look of it.
Yeah, it lets you style the look of it, and it's just please enter your information and we'll get back to you. And yeah, it's just white labeled. Put it on the site and you're done. Easy to
Cool.
do. All right, so where
to next?
And that, exactly. All right, so next thing is the dashboard customization, or not dashboard customization, but this is the solution library. So we have all sorts of scripts and tips on the funnel builder, surveys. Our survey styling makes it super easy to make a beautiful survey, which I should have loaded up for you, but I'll just show you the video real fast so you can see it.
Yeah, that's a common question, is how do I change the look of the surveys?
Yeah, so we set it up so that, turn off the sound. So this is like a default survey, the way it looks.
Right.
And you simply drag a couple items onto the form, and it then turns into, let's see. Where are we? Okay, so then it looks like this at the end here. And you can, I keep showing the goods right there.
Screenshot.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it makes it look really good there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the solutions library is a place to go to learn about how to improve things visually, but is that what this basically is, like a library of CSS?
It's CSS and JavaScript. So like one other cool thing is like our calendar. We've got a calendar script that lets you configure pretty much every part of the calendar. As it is now, I know you guys are redoing it, but I had to come up with this. So basically, like here, I didn't do a great job of it. I mean, I didn't think with it really well, but oh, you know, it doesn't show you on this, but you can customize, like when you book a call, you can skip that end screen. You can customize the stuff on the end screen. You can customize the button.
Gotcha.
All the stuff by just changing some stuff here. It lets you, yeah, it's just.
Oh, the separators. I love the separators. So those are for in funnel builder, right? Like if you want to build slanted backgrounds or designed backgrounds. Yeah, those are super cool.
Yeah, and like other things we did was like we have a hack for making the forms sticky. So one thing that I had a couple people wanting to do, which was taking a form from ClickFunnels, and someone has already filled out the form in ClickFunnels, but then they want to schedule using the Go HighLevel calendar, and they didn't want to have to re-enter their information. They wanted to use the sticky form feature, but couldn't because there was 2 different domains. So we actually solved that, and you just drop a couple.
You've got a cross cookie that goes from. Gotcha. Cool.
You got it. So it's all sorts of stuff like that. The thing I'm super proud of here, which is really making a big difference for people, is we have a new version of our dashboard customization theme. So we have our old themes were very, very basic, and they didn't look like my theme. And the members were always like, well, how do we get one that looks like yours, right? So like ours looked really nice, and they were like, well, I want that one. And so this is like our old theme, and it looked really, here we are, so starter themes. The starter themes just looked like, you know, the colors, right? So like how can you change the colors, right? But the things that people really wanted was to like, how can we really take advantage of some of this stuff? So here's like an example of the classic look.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our starter theme. So you'll see that we moved a lot of things around. It looks very different from the normal HighLevel. And what I also did was I took all of the colors and I brought them up to the top, and we use them as variables. So you can take and start to customize it. So let's change this around here, and we'll change this like that.
Oh, cool.
Foreground is like that, and
I see you've also taken over the main button, the check-in client button. People ask that all the time. Why does it have to say that? Can I change what it says? Can I change what it does?
yeah, and we actually made that even easier. You don't even have to use code for that. That's actually not in the theme. That's in something else, that's in this customizer here. You just go to the check-in button, and you say you can hide it. You can say review request, and change the color. You can link to an internal menu item. You can link out to a pop-up. Yeah, that's
Cool.
just something over there. But here, yeah, so we've got this. Like one other little thing is like, you see that little arrow there? It doesn't do that by default. It doesn't do this thing. So we kind of fixed some of that stuff.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
And so like, and then we've got all these things in here. So like, if you want to remove the icons being on the right, you can just remove that feature there. So now it's on the left. And another cool thing that we've got, which is really cool, when you get below a certain level, it pops down like that, right? And that can be annoying to some people. But we added these little tooltips here so that you can see.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that is helpful.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, all sorts of cool stuff. And like, the modals, I'm in the middle of styling this, but the modals end up looking good, and everything just
Very
sort of
cool.
looks good. And I'm happy to help any of our members to customize their dashboard and make it look the way that they want it to.
Well, I'm sure that we could spend hours going through all of the features in here, but I know you have cool stuff like sync to Google Drive.
Yeah, I know.
And some other cool stuff. But so how do you sell this? Is it like you pay for individual pieces, or is it all in one? How does it work?
So what it is, we currently have a lifetime deal, which we're only going to keep this lifetime deal available for until we get everything built into the dashboard. Because my end goal is to have a lot of this stuff built into the agency settings area, where you just install one script, and then you can just configure this stuff, hit save, and immediately see it and preview like your customizations before you show it to your users. There's this like, my mind keeps like going, wow, we could do that, right? So, so right now we have a lifetime deal, but as soon as we can get it into the dashboard, we're going to move it over to a monthly subscription. And so we have 3 different levels, and I didn't want to show the prices because I'm sure the prices are going to be higher later. So I don't want to like talk about what the prices are right now.
Gotcha.
Because this will be on a YouTube channel.
Sure.
But yeah, so we sell basically right now. There's 3 memberships. There's the customizer, just the customizer, and the customizer in the solution library. So that's going to be basically all this. And then we have the customizer plus chat. And then we're going to have the full toolkit membership, which is going to have everything, which we haven't even gotten into. It's like, I need to figure out a way to streamline my sales pitch because there's so many things to talk about.
We have the same problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, can you give me a quick demo of HighLevel? It's like,
Tell me what it does.
That's sort of an oxymoron. No, I can't give you a quick demo, but.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was like, okay, let's focus on the customizer right now. This is like my new landing page. This is what we're going to run the ads to, just the customizer. and just talk about that. So people can think with that. And then if they want to get into, okay, what is GHL Connect? What is the ads library? Okay, we'll touch on that briefly, but, you know, mention all that.
Okay, so it looks like it's all on your site. So people can go to the marketerstoolkit.com,
Yeah.
check out the current pricing, whatever it is at that
Yeah.
moment in time.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then you had mentioned that you have a very cool offer for our community only for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Do you want to
So
talk about that?
yeah. So two things. So number one, I haven't started any of the Facebook ads yet. So I have a $300 off the membership that we've got right now. So that's in our Facebook group. That coupon code is inside our Facebook group, and you can message me as well, and I'll get that to you. I'm very
So
available.
just search the Marketers Toolkit on Facebook and the group will pop up. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's the Marketers Toolkit. You can just, it's all
Okay,
over
cool.
my website too.
Gotcha.
And also, I'm happy to jump on a call with anyone, new or experienced. If you have, if you just want, you know, orientation as to what Go High Level is, that's totally fine. I'm happy to give you a 30-minute call and, you know, explain triggers and chats and the right way to do a snapshot and all that. And also, I'm constantly doing calls with people that are trying to do some more, you know, awesome custom integrations. The stuff that people are trying to do right now and that they are doing is really amazing. We're like building out, we're not personally building it, but we're helping to facilitate people that are building stuff out for automotive dealerships, mortgage snapshots, and things that really make their white label stuff unique. And I have all sorts of plans of how we can make, like, because there's so much potential, right?
Well, I think, Tom, I honestly think this is such a generous offer. I know that this is not scalable, and I'm sure you're going to shut it down pretty quickly because people are going to take you up on this. But this is an incredible opportunity if you've been thinking, hey, I'd love to be able to talk to somebody about, is this customization that I want possible? I think you'd be a great guy to talk to, that you'd know pretty much right away the limitations, where the limits are. Yes, that is possible. Here's how you would go about it. Go look for somebody that knows how to do this, or maybe they can hire you. I don't know. But I think it's incredibly generous for you to offer a bunch of free calls. So thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm referring out all the time. Like I was sending people to Nathan's stuff recently. And I think our community is amazing. Like, and what I love about it is that we're not really stepping on each other's toes. Like all of the people that are building these apps, there's so much potential to create on top of HighLevel, and we're sort of like staying out of each other's way of like, okay, let's not build something that someone else is already building. And let everybody have a piece of what it is that they're doing.
And we want to, and that's probably a good opportunity to mention, we want to help facilitate this as well. And so we've been talking internally about putting together a more formalized developer partner program where we can keep people like you and others that are building things that, you know, work with HighLevel or on top of HighLevel, et cetera, more in the loop of the roadmap so that you have a better idea of where the opportunities lie. And so you're not building features that we're going to launch in 2 weeks, like what just happened with the custom menu tabs.
Yeah. I mean, one of the major features of the customizer was, you know, location-specific menus, and that is still nice. Like, you don't have location-specific, but
so yours does that. If you just want the tab to show up in certain locations, certain sub-accounts.
Yeah. So check it out. Like you can.
Cool. People have been asking about that.
And then you say whatever, right? And then you can add, you can customize the check-in button just for that thing. You can add menu items for that location, have it pop up, you know, custom icon in the dashboard, modal.
Okay, awesome. So there is still a bunch of unique functionality with what you've built. That's great.
Oh yeah, and like we can do shortcut buttons that go up on the top. So like if you look, of course, I probably don't have them, but we put a button up here at the top where it'll link deep into the menu items. over here.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like favorite buttons you can sort of pull out.
That
And
makes sense. That's cool. So instead of having to tell people, okay, go to marketing, then click
yeah,
this, you can just go straight down into it.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, there's so much value in this customizer right now. It's kind of insane. Like there's all sorts of like amazing features. Like we're adding icons and buttons inside HighLevel and
Awesome.
stuff like this. Like when I show people our dashboard, they're like, "How do I get that?" It's the easiest sell ever. I just show
Right.
them this, right, and they see, "Oh, wait, how did you get those little icons there?" Or like for snapshots, this is great. You just go on, off, like that, and we're gonna have little icons here so you can see what's inside each trigger really
Oh,
easily,
nice.
and have
That's
flags
cool.
for like inside a trigger. If there's like a campaign that's not active but the trigger's active, there's going to be a little warning icon so you know like there's a problem there, things like that.
Very cool.
And
Well, so, okay, going back to your generous offer, if people want to take you up on it, that was at the bottom of your homepage, themarketerstoolkit.com.
yeah, this is at the bottom of the homepage, and I purposely set it so that it doesn't overwhelm my schedule. So it's only booking out like a week in advance, and it doesn't have that many slots. So I'm hoping
So
that
get them while they're open, huh?
yeah, exactly. And I'll probably remove it in the next week or so. I don't know when I'm going to remove it, but I'm going to have it open for at least a week or two here for people. But I'm happy to
Awesome.
talk to people. And anytime, you know, even if that offer is not available, if you message me, I'm really available on Facebook, and often I'll just jump on a call. Even if you're not a member, I always try and help people.
Well, that's awesome. We really appreciate that. And it looks like Steve had a question in Facebook. Is there a coupon code? I believe Tom said that it's in his Facebook group.
Yes.
So at the bottom of the marketerstoolkit.com, there's a button that'll take you to the Facebook group where they can request to join, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I'll let you in there, and I'm gonna do a post when we get off here with like this is the coupon code. It's buried in some comments somewhere, but I'll make it more obvious that this is
Cool.
what.
Well, you're tagged on the live stream here, so you could hop. I'm sure you'll get notifications when people comment on that, and
Yeah,
you can go find them over there. Well,
perfect.
Tom, thanks so much for coming on the show. This is awesome. I know there's so much cool stuff that we didn't talk about, so definitely head over to themarketerstoolkit.com where you can check out all the cool stuff that Tom has built. And yeah, thanks again for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks. This is pretty awesome.
Well, it's great to have you. I know we've been trying to make this one happen for a while, and I know it's hard to say like when we should do it because you're always adding
Oh
more
my gosh,
stuff.
yeah. We finally
So
got it done, right?
I'm sure we'll have you back on in the near future some other time as well.
Yeah, thanks. We're actually going to release. There's a new thing that we're working on, which is GHL Connect, and that's not out yet. But I'm super excited about it because we're building a whole lot of integrations that it's not out, but we're connecting directly to people's HighLevel accounts and opening up more endpoints than you guys have. Basically, we found a way to really like connect into the database in a secure fashion that's not like going to be a problem for you guys,
Sure.
but it's going to allow us to do mobile versus landline validation, blacklist checking,
Very cool.
and you know, adding accounts. And then my long-term goal is I want to do Sika integration and integrate into like more practice management softwares and things like that your developer team maybe isn't able to fully get onto quickly enough. So it's going to be.
It's a
So we'll do
tough.
another snapshot or a spotlight when that comes on down the pipeline.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan. All right, Tom, thanks again for coming on the show. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
All right, thanks.
Have a good one, everyone.